Sammy B presents
Substories,
the series.
Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. Woo woo. If you haven't been here before, hello, I'm Sam, or Sammy, whichever you like to call me. If you are new to my channel and you don't join any of my lives, what are you doing with your life? You should be joining. But anyways, we started a series called Substories, and basically what it is you guys will submit your stories to me dependent on the theme of the month. So for the month of May, our theme is most embarrassing. So if you have any embarrassing stories for the month of May, go ahead and send those in to me via email, and I will put my email somewhere down here. But it's substories@gmail.com, and you go ahead and submit those stories to me, and I will narrate them for you. If you haven't done so already, please caress that subscribe button and caress that notification bell, so that way you will be notified every time I upload or I go live. So our first sub story goes to our first ever person who wants to go by the name of Sophia. So let's give Sophia a big huzzah. Huzzah! Woo! So thank you, Sophia, for sending in your submission and for allowing me to share this with the rest of the world. So hopefully you guys can relate. So let's jump right in, okay? When I was in 6th grade, I told my crush of 3 years that I liked him. But this he never responded. First of all, that'd be annoying. Like, people be so mean. Like, you can't even say like,
cool bro, thanks.
or, oh, I'm sorry. I don't feel the same. Or, you know, people just be, get it together, people. It takes 2 seconds to just reply and say something, and you don't have to be mean about it. All you got to do is just simply respond and keep in mind of people's feelings, okay? So after she sends him that message and he leaves her on red and he doesn't even respond. And first of all, let me just throw this out here for all the young ones out there, because I'm just gonna tell you how old I am, okay? Listen, when I was in 6th grade, cell phones look like this. They look like a whole damn shoe, okay?
Bring it, and what's up?
Like a whole damn shoe. Just throwing it out there, okay? They really didn't, not too many people had cell phones when I was
in 6th grade.
Anyways, so she tells old dude, right? I like you, I got a crush on you, over a text message. He ghosted her. He didn't even respond to her. And this scum of the earth little shit, okay? He has the audacity, okay, to put her in a group chat with 7 of his friends, okay? And him and his buddies begin to roast poor little Sophia. No, he didn't. Girl, I was bad in 6th grade. Like, I wasn't the type of person that was like, oh, you're gonna roast me? No, I wasn't. I was that girl that I will come up there and I will throw your phone and your books on the floor and step on them.
What'd you just say to me?
Because you ain't gonna talk to me like that. But that was a long time ago. And your girl has Jesus in her heart, and your girl don't do those things no more, and I am a lot peaceful than I used to be. But so this he goes and he has the audacity to start roasting Sophia with all his damn friends, okay? And then he goes and he blasts her, okay, to the whole entire damn classroom. And I'm like, who does that? How evil of a person do you have to be to just sit there and like somebody is coming over to you and like confessing their love for you or their like for you, and you're gonna sit there and not only are you gonna like not even respond or have a heart to be like, hey, you know, I appreciate you liking me, but unfortunately I don't feel the same, but let's be friends. Like, what happened to that? Like, is there still people like that in this world that like actually care and that actually like have a heart? How evil. Despite this little a-hole 6th grader that was obviously raised by chimpanzees, despite all of that, right? Sophia says he ain't even all that in a bag of $2 chips, which chips go for like $2 now. So he ain't even a whole $4 bag of chips. He ain't even a 2-liter of soda, okay? This mofo is a little 30-cent bag of generic Cheetos, okay? And a Shasta. No hate on the Shasta, but you ain't Coca-Cola, but he a Shasta. So he ain't even all that in a bag of chips, and he had the audacity to do this. And I am sure Sophia is probably good looking. I only have good looking subs, let's be honest. You already know who you are. All my subbies, all my Sam fam, you already know. I only have good looking subs.
Period.
Okay, so this little, plus she's like, he's shorter than me. Now I can't really clown on short people because you all know I'm tall as hell. Okay, I'm 5'9".
That's a huge
I'm a
bitch.
whole lot of. I'm a brick house, baby. I'm a whole lot of woman. My husband's short. He's shorter than me. He is definitely shorter than me, but we the same exact height at one point in our day. Just saying. But so she's like, he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, but he not. He a 30-cent bag of generic Cheetos, and he a Shasta. Not even the like whole can of Shasta. He's like the little stubby cans of Shasta soda. So that is the end of Sophia's story. Sophia girl, we see this is so cliche, but we see this all the time, okay? He's probably gonna be one of those people who ends up like in high school, you know, like that popular kid that was like all the girls wanted him, but he was such a jerk. And he really wasn't all that, but everybody like, he had that like moxie, you know? He had that moxie about him. And something about him made him attractive. And then you go to like your reunion, your middle school or high school reunion. And once you go there, you see him and he has like a big old pregnant like beer belly, and then he's like bald and he's kind of missing some teeth, and he kind of has like them creeper glasses on, and then you kind of look at him like ugh, and then he's single and he probably worked at a gas station now, and then he like comes over to you and you're looking all hot and you looking all good, and he's probably coming over to you like, hey, can I get your number? I just want to talk. Let's just be friends. And you're like, Bitch, you smell like a Hot Pocket. Bye. No.
No.
Thank you, Sophia, for sharing that. And I know that all my subs are beautiful. And I know that not one of them, I don't have ugly subs. All of my subs are beautiful inside and out. So I know that out there somewhere, either it's a new sub or already a sub, they can relate to you, girl. So don't feel judged. Let's give Sophia a big huzzah for sharing her most embarrassing story.
Yay, yay!
Huzzah! Our next sub story is partially mine, but partially belongs to one of my BFFs, Shy. This story is embarrassing AF, okay? Because it's just all bad. Let's jump right in, okay? So, me and my friend Shy decide that, well, I have to go to California 3 times a year because I have to take my son out there to go visit his father because his father lives out in Cali, right? And so I tell my friend, like, hey, I know you never been to Cali. I'm either going to fly out there or I'm going to drive out there. Do you want to go? We can make a road trip of it. And she's like, yeah. So we have our fun. We go to Cali. We go to Disneyland and we do all kinds of Cali stuff that she's never done before. You know, I lived there my whole life, so been there, done all of that. So I wanted her to like experience like the wholesome greatness of Cali, right? And so we go, we have fun, we go to Disneyland, we have our kids with us. So after our trip is over, I leave my son with his dad. We're driving along the freeway, we're having a great time and everything's fine. And then it's probably like around noon and we're still kind of like in New Mexico because we kind of like piddle paddled around or whatever. So we're driving, we're like, you know what? We're kind of hungry. What can we get? Lo and behold, in the middle of nowhere, in middle to like almost the end of New Mexico, I don't even remember the city, there's a Taco Bell. And the Taco Bell is like, you know those restaurants, those fast food restaurants that have like a fast food restaurant attached with another fast food restaurant and they're kind of like sister restaurants, you know? So it was basically is it Long John Silver's in Taco Bell? So we go over there and I thought it would be funny to like order with like a British accent. And so me and my friends, we like to sometimes like change our accents whenever we go places where people don't know us. It's just like, it's fun. So I go through the drive-thru, I order in my British accent, and so they were getting annoyed with me because they were having, first of all, it looked like somebody shot out the little microphone box and they were having difficulty. Like the way it sounded was like,
it's like I'm trying to talk like this. I'm like, hi, can I help you? Would you like something for Taco Bell? Or yeah.
like it sounded just like that, okay? And so I'm like, and then the guy was like getting irritated with me because I'm like, well, can I? And he's like, well, I can't. And I'm like, sir, I'm just gonna pull up to the window. And my friend's like, bitch, they're gonna shit in our food. And he looked like he was so mad at me because I told him that I was gonna pull up to the window because he obviously couldn't hear me. It takes like 30 minutes. Like, how does it really take 30 minutes to make a bean and cheese burrito and a Baja Blast? Like, so my friend gets her order and she ends up getting like some Long John Silver's or whatever the hell it was called. We start driving, we're on our way. We had to get gas again because I think I was in my Wrangler at the time. So we get to like a gas station and me and my friend were like hung up on these little like sausages called Tijuana Mamas. And they're like these red little like chubby sausages that are kind of like pickled, and like snacking on those. And then we had like our bean and cheese burritos. We were like way out there somewhere in like the northern part of Texas, okay? And my friend is like, I need to use the bathroom. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I really need to use the bathroom. Like, I'm about to shit my pants. And I'm like, okay, well, I could pull over. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, you know what? I need to throw up. And she's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I need to throw up. I'm not feeling so good. And she's like,
Bitch, I told you they were gonna mess with your food.
so I finally pull over. I get out of the car. I run out and I'm like, bleh. I absolutely hate throwing up with a passion, and I'm such a dramatic thrower upper. Like I'm that person. Like,
Like, I hate you. Like,
I am so dramatic when I throw up. I absolutely hate it. Okay, and I'm crying, and my friend's like laughing at me. I'm like, fuck yeah, I hate you. And so she's like, we need to hurry up because I'm about to shit my pants. And I said, well, go to the bathroom. And she's like, no, them Tijuana mamas got me like feeling like some kind of way. She's like, I could feel it. It's going to be hot and spicy. And I'm like, just go to the bathroom on the side of the road. I got toilet paper. And she's like, no, I need a bathroom. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're going to have to drive because I feel sick to my stomach and I feel like I'm going to barf. So I start getting a fever, okay? I started getting a mean-ass fever. I'm fevering. I got the chills. It's hot, but it's cold inside the car. I'm not feeling good. I'm like, I gotta puke. I'm barfing in a bag. Her kids are in the back, like, gagging because I'm over here barfing and it smells like puke. And so we finally get to this, like, little mom and pop little gas station. And this gas station is like in the middle of nowhere, okay? When I tell you that this gas station looked like some sort of hillbilly, like incestual type relation people, like it did, okay? And like, you know, like you ever go to like them creepy ass little gas stations, like when you're driving like in the middle of nowhere and the people kind of look like potatoes that have been sitting on that shelf for like a few weeks too long and they start getting a little like sprouts and stuff. Like these people look like potatoes. I'm just painting the picture here, okay? And then the door has like graffiti all over it. It looks kind of abandoned and it has like an old like abandoned like auto mechanic shop like built into it. And then it has like an old beat up like truck that hasn't been ran, like it's so rusty and it's like growing barnacles and shit. Like you know what I'm talking about, okay? So we walk into the gas station and they had like the nastiest smelling fried chicken I ever, like how do you mess up fried chicken? Even if it's cooked nasty, it still smells good, right? Like it still smells like fried chicken. We walked in there and there's like flies inside of where like the hot food is, where they had like all this fried chicken at. So my friend's like,
I need to go in the bathroom.
like me too, I'm about to throw up. So we go into the bathroom and there's no line, okay? And there's only 2 stalls. And one of the stalls says out of service and the other stall was like the like handicap bathroom. I told my friend like I'm about to throw up. I'm like, can you hold it? Like just let me throw up real fast. And my friend's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I go into that bathroom and while I'm in there, my friend's like, oh, she's like, she literally yells, it. And I'm like, what? She's like,
I gotta go.
she's like,
What's the worst that can happen?
she just thought like, oh, maybe it doesn't flush, like she'll just take a dump and then like leave it in the toilet, because my friend gives no shits about nothing, okay? And so I'm like, are you really in there? And she's like, yes. And so she starts going to the bathroom. Obviously there is a lot of noise happening at this point, and we're laughing and dying because both of her kids are in the bathroom. Her son's like,
Ew, Sam, you're gross. You're gross.
I'm like, why? He's like, cause you keep throwing up. And then he's like,
Oh, my, it smells so bad.
so we're like dying, right? Me and her just like laughing, and I'm like throwing up and trying not to cry, but like laughing at the same time because I couldn't help it. So right as I start to like finish up, my friend's like, oh my gosh, she's like, I feel so much better now. And keep in mind, there's no door on the bathroom. Like it's just an open doorway and then 2 stalls. And then right next, like right across the hall is like the men's restroom. So you can hear everything. So this girl was just like, she was dropping beats in that toilet. Okay. And so she's like finished. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go pee real fast since I'm here. Well, my friend proceeds to flush that toilet. I don't know if you've ever seen a volcanic eruption. And my friend's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And she's like panicking. And all I hear is, and all... Let me just tell you that when I looked up and I seen her dookie flying up in the air and about to land on me, I moved like this and it went whoosh. Her shit blasted off to the ceiling of the freaking bathroom and it just went like everywhere. And her son is screaming and we're both like, oh, and she's like, well,
I guess that's why it's out of service.
and I'm like, bitch,
You got your shit all over me.
there is like this much water. Her deuce is like legit floating on the top of the bathroom floor. It was really, really bad. It was awful because we had to get out of there. Like, we were like, you know what? We need to go. Like, we feel bad for the cleaning person because we can't deal with this. This is too embarrassing. Like, we are not going to be the ones to like explain to the people that my friend like legit blew up the bathroom. There was turds flying everywhere. There was, and keep, put it this way. Them Tijuana mamas, if you ever had one, it is legit like a red sausage. Her deuce was like little red sausages floating around. And I'm over here like, not only does it stink, but I'm over here with the stomach flu or food poisoning. And my friend just blew up somebody's bathroom. So we start to walk out. And we're not even going to buy anything because I was going to buy a Gatorade. We're just going to go. Like, we're just going to book it and head out and just forget about it. Well, little did we know, there was a line of women waiting to go into that bathroom. Did I also mention that the cleaning woman was there? Put yourselves in our situation. And yeah, it was probably like shitty, but when literally shitty, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. It was really messed up of us, huh? Don't come for us. We don't judge here. We don't judge here. So let me just show you guys real fast what I did before we do Sammy's final thoughts. What would you guys do? I mean, seriously, like, if you have to go, you've been driving for over 24 hours. I mean, do you want to ride in the car for another 10 hours with a chapped butt and dookie in your underwears with your sick friend who's throwing up all over the place? Or are you going to use an out of service bathroom and say, you know what, I love my friend and I don't want to make her suffer and I don't want to shit in her car? So we're going to go in with Sammy's final thoughts. Okay, so let's talk about the first story for a minute. When you confess your love to somebody and they treat you like that, don't let that stop you from living your best life. Because you know what? Somewhere out there, there is going to be somebody worthy of you. And it ain't going to be that person. So Don't ever let that stop you from being who you are. It's going to put a bad taste in your mouth, but ultimately, when you're in 6th grade, there's going to be so many more fish in the sea. And honestly, you're going to have breakups, you're going to go through stuff, you're going to cry, and people are going to be mean and ugly. But you just keep being you, and you just keep spreading positivity in the world. And you're going to attract what you put out to the universe. If you put out bad energy, you're going to receive bad stuff. If you put off good energy, you're going to receive good stuff. And sometimes when you put out good stuff, bad stuff is attracted to you. That's normal, that's natural. But you know what? Don't let that stop you from living your life and being happy, and learn from it. You got your whole life ahead of you. You ain't got to worry about that, and you will find somebody amazing. As for the gas station story, don't ever piss off fast food workers that could put something in your food that will give you the bubble guts. Don't eat too many Tijuana mamas when you're driving over 24 hours.
Okay.
And make sure that if your friend has to take a deuce, don't use the out of service bathroom, because chances are you're gonna blow your shit out of the water. So that is all for today, folks. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. This is the final